Good evening and welcome to Carnegie Town Hall. This meeting of the City Planning Commission will begin with a few introductory remarks. The City of Sioux Falls Planning Commission serves as an advisory board to the City Council. It is the responsibility of the Planning Commission to consider and make recommendations on land use and zoning matters. Actions taken tonight on conditional use permits are final unless appealed to the City Council in writing within 5 days. Any recommendations made on preliminary subdivision plan requests tonight will be referred to the City Council for final action at the third council meeting of this month, or at the first council meeting of the next month if associated with a rezoning or major amendment. Any recommendations made on rezoning requests, major amendments, future land use amendments, or ordinance amendments tonight will be referred to the City Council for final action at the first council meeting of next month. Council meetings are held at 7 p.m. here in the Carnegie Town Hall and are televised. The Planning Commission will first approve the consent and then the regular agenda. In order to place certain non-controversial items on the Commission's consent agenda, planning staff and the Planning Commission apply the following criteria. First, the request conforms with the SHAPE Sioux Falls 2035 Comprehensive Plan. Second, planning staff recommends approval of the request. Third, there are no audience members present or written comments received in opposition to the request. And fourth, the application meets all conditions and requirements of the Sioux Falls zoning ordinance. By approving the consent agenda, the Commission is approving the items on consent. Therefore, upon approval of the agenda, those members of the public in attendance for those items are free to leave. For the regular agenda, the following normal public hearing procedure will be followed for each item. By first requesting planning staff to present a brief report on that item. Second, the petitioner or representative will be requested to come forward to make a statement or answer questions. After the petitioner has spoken, anyone from the audience who wishes to address the agenda item shall be recognized. Then the Planning Commission will discuss the matter further and take appropriate action. We ask that anyone addressing the Planning Commission move to the podium microphone and identify themselves for the record. Please limit your comments to less than 5 minutes. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, we ask that you either turn off or please silence your electronic devices. This meeting is being televised on CityLink and will be rebroadcast Friday at 7 p.m., Saturday at 10 a.m., and Wednesday at 1 a.m. Thank you for your cooperation. Good evening and welcome to Carnegie Town Hall for this July 1st Planning Commission meeting. We'll start off the meeting with going over the consent agenda items. And Denise, if you could please read those.
Yes, Madam Chair. Item 1 is approval of the June 3rd, 2015 minutes of the regular meeting. Item 2 is June plats. Item 3, 2859-2015 rezone from the O Office District to the C2 Commercial Neighborhood and Streetcar District for allowed forms located at the northeast corner of West 26th Street and South St. Michael's Circle. Item 4, 2875-2015 rezone from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban District for allowed forms located east of South Louise Avenue and south of West 77th Street. Item 5, 2888-2015 rezone the C3 Commercial Community District to the S1 General Institutional District for allowed forms located at 5200 West Lakeshore Boulevard. Item 6, 2889-2015 rezone from the AG Agricultural District to the RA2 Apartment Residential Moderate Density District for allowed forms located at the northwest corner of West 26th Street and South Katy Avenue. Item 7, 2894-2015 rezone from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban and RD2 Townhome Residential Suburban Districts for allowed forms located east of Southeastern Avenue and south of East Chatham Street. Item 8, 2895-2015, rezone from the AG Agriculture and CN Conservation Districts to the I-2 Heavy Industrial and CN Conservation Districts for allowed forms located south of East Benson Road and east of I-229. Item 9, 2929-2015, rezone from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the O Office District for allowed forms located at 800 and 900 East I-90 Lane. Item 10, 2930-2015, rezone from the C3 Commercial Community District to the I-1 Light Industrial District for allowed forms located at 3521 South Norton Avenue. Item 11, 2931-2015, rezone from the C2 Commercial Neighborhood and Streetcar District to the C3 Commercial Community District for allowed forms located at the southeast corner of West 57th Street and South Marion Road. Item 12, 2932-2015, rezone from the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban District to the RT2 Townhome Residential Traditional District for allowed forms located at 2900 South Waltz Avenue. Item 13, 2933-2015, rezone from the REC Rec District to the I-1 Light Industrial District for allowed forms located at 5311 North 6th Avenue.
All right, thank you, Denise. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on items number 1 through 13? All right, seeing none. Commissioners, are there any comments on items number 1 through 13?
No comment.
Seeing none, I'd like to hear a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, same sign. All right, the consent agenda has been approved. If you are here for items number 1 through 13, you are free to leave at this time. And we will move on to the regular agenda. I need a motion to approve the regular agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, same sign. All right.
Item 14, 2924-2015, initial development plan for the downtown planned unit development located north of East 14th Street, east of South Minnesota Avenue, west of South 3rd Avenue, and North Weber Avenue, south of East 6th Street.
Diane DeCoyer, planning staff. This is the initial development plan for the downtown plan unit development. The applicant is the City of Sioux Falls Planning Office. Owners are various, considering it's 189 acres of various businesses. The purpose for an initial development plan of a PUD is to encourage private and public investment that will preserve the central business district as a regional office, retail, hotel, institutional, cultural, and entertainment center of the city. All requirements of the initial development plan shall be consistent with the regulations of the PUD district and the Shape Sioux Falls 2035 plan. The purpose and history of this, with the passage of Shape Places zoning ordinance, the approximately 189 acres was zoned previously, most of it as commercial, some of it was light, and some heavy industrial areas. Now it is considered part of the downtown PUD, and as we've done with other campuses, whether hospital or educational campuses in the past, with an initial development plan, there's certain criteria that applicants have to submit So we have a record of everything that exists within the initial development plan. And then anytime there is, like in this case, if somebody, an applicant were to come forward with, say, a new plan, a new construction project or remodel, they have to submit the final development plan. It has to be consistent with the initial development plan, has to fit in. That is then administratively reviewed by the office, and if it meets all the criteria, it's just approved that way. If there's any reason for an amendment, then it would come back to you for review and approval to be adopted within the initial development plan. In this case, with the downtown PUD, it actually falls under the village district and form. In urban villages, densities are high and projects frequently have the scale and character of a downtown or town center district. Street orientation creates a much tighter streetscape setting, reducing traffic speeds and increasing walkability. In vertical mixed use or urban villages, the building rather than the parking lots define the street, and structures typically have 2 or more stories. Urban villages also create populated places rather than just providing lots for developments. Consequently, appearance, design, and function of the development is emphasized along with land use. The other secondary forms allowed within this district are basic utilities and tower utilities. Within the report, I kind of went through and identified everything as it exists within the downtown. These various maps that were included in your packet and that are up on the screen also tie back to specific information within an Excel spreadsheet that we keep for our record. And again, when anybody else comes with the final development plan, that would be incorporated into it. So, for the most part, since I wrote the report, I thought it was pretty darn good. And it complies with the policy and design standards of the Shape Places 2035 Comprehensive Plan and is consistent with the regulations of the requested PUD district. So staff recommends approval, but I can answer any questions you have.
All right, thanks, Diane. Any questions for staff / the petitioner?
Madam Chair, one question, Ann. What happens if the boundary changes?
Well, like we did last month, there were some businesses there on Weber Avenue that should have been incorporated into the downtown PUD when Shape Places took effect. So we went ahead and zoned those into it. Now, those that were just recently zoned in, those were light and heavy industrial, and those actually would not be allowed under the downtown PUD. So right now they'd be grandfathered, but if anybody came in wanting to redevelop those, it would have to fit within that RE6 form.
Okay. So other question, so looking north in between Main and Phillips, there's kind of a spot that's not included right now.
Right.
They decide to be or want to be included. Is that possible, and how does that work?
It is, and they would just go through the rezone process with us. Some of the properties just to the north of where Jason circled that are recent projects that have been identified, and we did have those rezoned into the downtown PUD, I think within the past maybe 3 months or so.
Does that require an updated initial development plan, or is it they just join the PUD and then if any changes are made, it'd be a final development plan?
Yeah, they will just join the PUD, and if they go to develop the site, then they'll do something with the final. Otherwise, it's just a requirement of the planning department to keep that information updated.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, any other questions for Diane? Great. Thanks, Diane. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to come forward? Have any objections on this item number? All right, seeing none, I'll look for a motion.
Madam Chair, I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
In addition to I think it was described as pretty darn good. And she wrote, were there
There's
other
nobody
ratings?
here, that's why I said it.
I just wondered what the other ratings were. Just
What was that?
the other ratings that are available
Oh.
choices. Extra outstanding.
All right.
Supercalifragilistic.
All right. Any other discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Item 15, update City of Sioux Falls Planning Commission bylaws.
Good evening. Jeff Schmidt with the City Planning Office. On an annual basis, we would like to update our bylaws through the Planning Commission public hearing process. It's really a procedural document that we use to make sure that we're doing things correctly and accurately. We've reviewed this over the last year. We have our changes. One of the things that I'd like to bring forward to you as planning commissioners tonight, now that you've reviewed it, is the city clerks and the city attorneys have looked through it, and we had a couple of changes that we need to make to Article X in addition to the things that you've already seen. So I've passed out pages 5 and 6 of Article X in regards to the instruments and documents that we have on file. If upon your approval or your motion to approve, if I could also have a motion to strike out those 2 sections or aspects of those sections, we'd appreciate it. In section 1, it says the official instruments of the Planning Commission are, we don't have a record of notice, but we do have agendas and minutes of the meetings. And then in section 4, a set of the minutes will be kept, but they're not kept with the city clerk. So just clarifying, again, those are the types of things that we do with the bylaws, how the agendas get posted, where they get posted, that our meetings were still being shown in the bylaws at being at 7 o'clock. We changed them to the 6 o'clock public hearing timeframes. So we'll continue to review these on an annual basis.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Any questions for staff?
Jeff, real quick, did you say you wanted to hear different motions for the strikeouts and then the approval, or just include the strikeouts with the...
With the motion. Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. Anyone in the audience would like to comment on this item? Okay. All right, seeing none, I look for a motion.
Move to approve the Article 10 instruments and documents with the strikeouts as noted for sections 1 and 4.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Do we need to approve the bylaws as a whole then now too? As in theory, all we approved now was section 10. So I would move to approve the bylaws as presented, amended.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes. Thank you. And
Move to adjourn.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.